So I need to undo all of this. We'll be right back. Okay, what's up everyone? So today we're doing a slightly different video. I'm showing off my camera setup. I've had it for a few weeks now. I recently upgraded and got this incredibly great monitor slash recorder for my camera. It's quite a massive setup, I'll give you that, but it works so great for running and gunning, and it's just fantastic. So I wanted to show it off because I've been using it for a few weeks and I've been basically loving it. It's been super nice to work with. So I'm basically starting everything from scratch, even down to my camera. So I'm currently using the Panasonic GH4, which is quite old. I'm planning to upgrade to the GH5 once I do have the cash and I feel the need to, because, well, 4K 60 is a good thing, but the main reason I would be getting it is because of the image stabilization, which the GH4 doesn't have in bodies. So this is my camera setup. This is the GH4 with the Sigma 18-35 art lens, and it's just, this setup alone is just freaking amazing. So continuing on, we have the cage for my camera, which I use so I can attach my camera upside down. You'll see this in a second, but it's actually a modified GH5 cage. As you can see, it's a bit cut open right here, so I can actually attach the GH4 onto this GH5 cage. I'm usually just flipping it upside down because that's, well, easier. So then I just take this one and just make sure it's straight, and then with quite a lot of force, just force it in there. So there we have the cage, which basically, the only reason I'm using it is because I get more mounting points, and I also get the ability to flip it upside down on my Ronin. So I basically don't use it for protection. I think these cages really don't protect the camera at all. You're basically lucky if these cages do protect the camera. So I'm basically just using mine for mounting stuff onto the camera. Next, I think we're gonna start building the Ronin setup. The Ronin M comes with a nice stand like this. It's gonna be quite interesting, well, building it like this, but I'll just do it so you guys can properly see. So this is the first basic part of building a Ronin. You basically screw these handles onto this one, like so. And next up is the actual motors and, well, the gimbal itself. This was just the top handle. As you can see, these handles are already quite a mess, but you know, that's how it goes. By the way, there's some construction outside, which I hope will not affect this video, but I can't tell. So, well, if you can hear some noise, just go with it. I can't do anything about it, sorry. So next up, what I like to do is actually, when the Ronin is this naked, I like to just pull the cables, because it's a lot easier when there's not a lot of stuff in the way. Routing the cables properly is actually quite essential, so that's what we're doing next. I usually like to keep like this much so I can plug them into my camera and still have a little loop right here. So if the Ronin actually moves a bit, it can, well, it doesn't put strain on the camera ports basically. And this is my Velcro mess. As you can see, it's a mess. Then I keep routing the cables upwards. So basically pulling them over the top right here, and let's hold on to the cables right here and see if this actually can turn all the way to here. So when you turn off the Ronin, if the camera falls to its side, well, it doesn't, once again, doesn't put strain on the camera or the ports or anything. So this one is nicely tucked away under the battery. As you can see, I can now install the battery like so, and the cables are attached, well, sort of behind the battery. So, and then I usually also put one Velcro up here. Now these cables are routed down to the camera, well, perfectly. And then I can move the camera wherever I want and it won't interfere at all. So next up, we're actually screwing the camera onto the base plate on the Ronin. I'll try to figure out how I can do this and you can actually see. I'll lift this guy out of picture for a split second. The way I have it set up is actually, I've got the camera set upside down on my Ronin, and this is because I'm usually using the entire Ronin upside down. Well, it basically means that I don't have to stand with the hands over my head to get eye level footage, so I just have to stand like this in a nice position and then just get the Ronin facing up and then get the footage from eye level, which is super nice. I actually have no idea if I can do this facing you guys, but I'll try my best. Now we just need to slide the camera on right here. Now just get a rough balance so the camera doesn't completely 100% fall over. I'll fine tune it later. Okay, there we go. This is decent. It's not the best, but it's still okay. As you can see, that's quite a nice setup. Okay, moving on. Well, now this entire well, bottom area is now good. And next up we actually got, well, the recorder itself. So I'm usually keeping the monitor on the left side right here. Next up I've also got the microphone mount. Okay, and the last clamp, which is for the controller. So this is the start and stop recording button. So this is the starter show. This is the Atomos Ninja Inferno, which is a really silly name, but it does its job really well. So it's a super bright monitor and recorder. So it's basically a monitor with an SSD back here to record all your footage in ProRes, super high quality. Remember how I told you that I'm doing this the wrong way to show you guys? Well, I just realized I'm doing this. Well, I'm used to having this one on the left side and all of that on the right side, and I'm not even sure that it's gonna work this way. So I need to undo all of this, well, this and all of this. We'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So, well, I realized that I had installed everything on the wrong side, which, well, is obviously a big mistake, but it happens when you do stuff the way you're not used to doing it. But next up we're installing this microphone right here. This is usually quite a tight fit, a bit tighter than I would like, but there's only so much room on a Ronin, so I'll see if I figure out something better at some point, but so far this is the best I've got. Okay, so that's basically all of the, well, big parts that we need to install. This is the microphone, the recorder, this start-stop recording button, and the camera, and basically the entire thing is now set up. All we need to do is now get all the cables in the right location. So we start off by plugging this microphone into here, which actually goes down to the camera, and then the camera outputs the signal, the microphone signal, back onto the HDMI, which then in turn, this cable is the HDMI, which is actually routed to the recorder itself. But it's actually a bit too long, so I need to just pull it a few laps around the handlebar to get rid of the extra cable. There we go. And then I plug it into the HDMI in on the recorder. This is basically a normal audio cable, except it's 2.5mm instead of the normal 3.5mm, but it works actually with a LANC protocol, which cameras use to actually get the right kind of trigger signal. So you can basically set up more than one camera to get start recording and stop recording at the exact same time. So that one I'm basically pulling straight across the handlebars and into this recorder. Now just a few velcros to tidy this up and we're good to go. Okay, so this is not the most beautiful setup I've made, but you know, it works. So that's it. That's the entire setup. I know it seems like a lot, and well, actually it is, but it works so great. So to start off, I basically turn everything on. Now the camera is on, the microphone is on, and the recorder is on, and last but not least, we need to turn on the Ronin. There we go. You should just throw this one in the car when I'm at shoots, so. Okay, so this is the setup I'm showing you guys, so it's upside down. Actually, I'll flip it for you. So basically, this is how I get it into position. I just flip it, and now as you can see, the camera is right side up. So this is basically what I'm looking at all day long, and well, it's quite a massive setup, but it works really, really great. While it's great to operate start and stop recording with a simple press of a button like this, one of the issues is actually that whenever you need to do something to the camera, change any settings or anything, you either have to hold the Ronin in one hand, balance it like this, which is obviously possible, but it's obviously not ideal either. So that's one option, or you can also flip it, hold it like this, place it down on your elbow like this, and then just balance it and then start changing some settings right here. So now it's actually in focus and everything's doing great. And then you throw it back up like this. So if you see this guy at a party, run for your life. No, but seriously, this is the way I work with it, and this is the way I set it up. It usually takes about 50 minutes before I'm ready to go at a shoot, so it's not the most quick setup. Once you have it set up, it's basically good to go for the entire day. All you basically need to do throughout the entire day is swap out the batteries when they die and then just get some new ones in and you're good to go. Well, I can see I haven't tightened this properly. Basically all of this is pretty shit right now, but you know, this is way worth it. And I'll actually wrap this up with a small highlights what I've shot with this. But that's it for me today. I'll see you guys in the next one.